This video is completely true. I'm the pharmacist in the video, and this happened last week, and it was such a neat thing, and kind of out of the blue. I was just counseling this patient, and he was like, "Oh, by the way." So it's a great story, and here it is. I made a video about it.
I want to share a true story a patient told me at the pharmacy. He told me this story about a year after it happened, but the impact of it was so strong that it has stayed with me ever since. I had finished counseling this gentleman on his medications when he paused, looked at me and asked, "Are you a man of faith?" I told him I was, that I'm Catholic. He nodded and said, "Good. I want to tell you something about my mother. You'll understand it better than most." His mother had advanced Alzheimer's. Not mild memory slips full-blown. Progressive Alzheimer's. She didn't know his name. She didn't recognize her children. And she only rarely had moments of clarity. Most days she lived in a distant, unreachable place. But one morning, something incredible happened. His sister, the caregiver, went in to wake their mother, expecting the usual confusion. Instead, she found her sitting up, alert, clear, focused, as if someone had flipped a light on inside her mind. Her mother said, with complete clarity, "I need to get dressed. I need my best dress, the nicest one I own." Her daughter was stunned. She asked, "Mom, why your best dress?" And the mother simply said, "I just need to." What no one in that house knew, except for one sister who didn't live there, was that she had quietly arranged for a Catholic priest to visit, sometime to give their mother the sacrament of the sick, the last rites. No appointment, no date, no warning. Just a general plan for the priest to stop by when he could. Later that same morning, as the mother sat fully dressed, hair brushed, and more coherent than she had been in years, there was a knock on the door. It was the priest. He had come to give her the last rites. The timing was so perfect it was impossible to dismiss as coincidence. Her daughter helped her to the couch. She greeted the priest with recognition and warmth. They talked. She prayed. And she received the sacrament with full awareness, as though a divine hand had lifted the fog just long enough for her to prepare her soul. She remained lucid the entire day. The son, the man standing across from me in the pharmacy, told me he got a call and immediately phoned his mother. He expected confusion, but instead, he heard the voice he remembered from years ago. She knew him, she spoke clearly. It was like having his mother back for one final day. The next morning, she woke up back in her Alzheimer's state, the clarity gone, and 1 week later she passed away. He told me this story a year after it happened, but when he spoke, you could hear how deeply it affected him, and listening to it affected me too, in a way I wasn't expecting, because someone very close to me and my family has recently been diagnosed with progressive Alzheimer's. And when he told me what happened to his mother, it hit differently. It felt like a reminder, or maybe a reassurance, that God still works in these moments, even when medicine can't, even when science has no explanation, even when the mind is failing. I'm a pharmacist. I deal with medications, studies, data, and clinical pathways every day. There are actually new studies exploring how GLP-1 medications may help in Alzheimer's, and I'll talk about that in another video. But what this man shared with me wasn't medical. It wasn't neurological. It was spiritual. A woman who hadn't known her children's names for years woke up with perfect clarity, put on her best dress, received the sacrament she couldn't have known was common, spent one final day fully herself, and then was called home a week later. A gift, a mercy, a moment of grace. This story came to me at the pharmacy counter, and I will never forget it.